do like a challenge. I don't know about you, and I go hunting for old branch railways, long disused railways, whenever I can. This is one that I dug up having come across this book. Excellent book, fully recommended. And we're going to have a wander using the details in there to see what we can find, what's left. Anything going to be left at all? Who knows? There's only one way to find out, folks. Grab your walking boots, we're off. This is the Bible then for this set of films. Ashchurch Barnt Green line. We'll see if we can find any bits and pieces. Opened in middle 1800s. And we're going to see if we can find any remains at all. One of these lesser known railways, I think. So we'll see what we can find. Starting in Ashchurch down the bottom there. We're going to wend our way up here. Looking for bits and pieces on the way. Following the line. Till eventually we get to Barnt Green. This is Ashchurch back in the day. There's Tewkesbury Malvern line branching off to the left. The Birmingham main line straight ahead. And our branch line off to the right. This is roughly the same scene today. Tewkesbury Malvern goes through the bushes on the left. Birmingham's main line is still there, and our little branch line heads off still to the right. This is peering over the bridge in the opposite direction then, looking towards Cheltenham. You can make out the main line, and then there's a few of the old sidings there, the remains of. Approaching the station at ground level. An original old gate. Well, that looks a bit new. Design the fence is right though. Original station building's about there then. And now part of the industrial complex. With the station through there. South then into the sunshine. Then looking north. What looks like an old pedestrian bridge up there. On the crossing. Looking south then, there you can see the old branch line. That used to be heading for Evesham and Redditch. Now only serves Ashchurch, the military base. And still looking south then, the Tewkesbury junction would have started just about there on the right. So Ashchurch station as it is today. Look for remnants. An attempt off to the side here to brighten things up in the olden way. There you are, if you would like to join the gardening group, sign on the dotted line. Well, that looks rather intriguing. Very cleverly done. Now if you look up a bit and over a bit, the water tower look. I don't know whether that's a GWR specimen or a Midland Railway. Rather good to see it there though, still. Coat of paint too. As for any other remnants, well, a bit thin on the ground I'm afraid. With a branch off just there. Oh, Mr. Whippy. Christ, it's freezing. Dowmac sleepers, or do we still call them Dowmac? I don't know. A lot of them though. Ashchurch of Tewkesbury. Now surrounded by industrial buildings. Right, well we'll use that thing then to go over there and take a peek. See what we can see. We'll take this view then from the midpoint of the walkway. See if there's anything new. Don't think so. There's our branch line then, heading off in that direction. Through a very small cutting. Whistle indeed. Close proximity to the church. I suppose in the original days they would probably gone in there and said a few words before embarking on the perilous train journey. From here you can see the industry all around. Another view of the old water tower. I love the fact it's been allowed to remain. I bet there's a maintenance cost involved. Same view, different side. You can see the platform construction isn't original. So platforms are gone. And this was built when it was reopened. It was closed for a while. With an atmospheric view of our branch line going off to the left. And the Tewkesbury branch line came off through there somewhere in amongst all that lot. Red light in the distance. That's quite quick, isn't it? Okay, that's Ashchurch done then. Let's move on up the line now, see if we can find anything else. We won't get into here, which is the MOD base. They're prepared to repel visitors, I think, we're looking at that. The road starts to rise, and we all know what that means. We pick up the bridge, which is still intact. Brick abutments and then a steel bridge spanning the two. Not too much sign of railway on this side. Oh, there's that thing. Oh, send the wife a message while I got a signal then. But on the other side, obvious line of the railway, look. There she is. Out in the country then, away from Ashchurch, Tewkesbury, what have you. And here we should hopefully pick up the style of the railway. The approach to the first bridge. If we look at that, we can see how the company sorts themselves out with regard to their masonry. Just going to take a look. I don't see any posts or anything in the hedges yet. Well, that's a bit unique. There is no masonry, there's no parapet. Yeah, there's a bridge here. I'm standing on a bridge. If it's been taken down or if it was never there. You can clearly see the line of the railway here, so we're standing right atop of the bridge now. Evidently something going on over here. Then you'd have to say looking north towards Redditch, Evesham, there's a gap in the hedge and that's probably the railway. The rest of it's been ploughed out. My lazy camera prefers to focus on the branches, not the gap. Buttress there. We're down there. Just looking at the old railway. Ah. Or trying to. Then on the north side, same again. See the parapet, but nothing else. Sorry, you can see the abutments, but nothing else. Slipping off down there. Not the best of shots, is it really? That's better. So it would appear. Replace it with a hedge, probably infilled as well. Okay, doesn't give us many clues. Bexford next. Peering over the hedge on the slope then you can see that gap in the hedge. And if we pan slowly right, you can see Bexford. That's probably the hotel, I think, on the approach road. Noisy airplane as usual. Right, we thought the last one was bad. Try this. Past the old manor house entrance. Kind of railway fencing, I guess. Here we are now, coming up to the peak of the hump of the bridge. If you could make it out, there's a straight line there underneath the branch, just about there, which is probably a parapet. No, not a parapet, an abutment. Also in here is part of a parapet, lump of masonry. And looking north, that's the line of the railway, believe it or believe it not. And it's another infield bridge. A lot of furore about that at the moment, isn't there? It's not a new thing. If you could see through the hedge, that would be looking south towards Ashchurch. And if you could make it out, there's another brick pillar, one part of the parapet. And that is all that's left. So this isn't Bexford, this is just, well, it's a suburb of, I suppose. Let's go now to Bexford and take a look at the old station site. About as good a shot of the old manor house as we're going to get, I think. A nice village scene. The trailer wasn't there. Right, on to Bexford. Well, within sound of the main road back there, making an awful din. On the left you see the rise up over the bridge. And on the right, well, I think it's probably the old station entrance. Now a private road, don't know how much we can see. Peering over the hedge is almost certainly what was a station building. Now much modified, of course, as you would expect. Lovely bit of detailing on the chimney. And the next dwelling along looks nothing like railway. However, look at that chimney, it's a bit old. Doesn't look in keeping with the house. So this then would have been the goods entrance as well as the station entrance, which is why it's such a wide area, I guess. But the real gem around here is what I think is the old engine house. No garage. There's a large square piece of tarmac being put in there, look. What's the chances that was the weighing machine? Pretty good, I reckon. Well, the dog here objects to our presence. Look at the engine shed and then an administrative building in front. And look at that old porch down there. Superb old railway building. Remains of the old platform, or perhaps a loading dock. Looking a bit sad. Rear entrance to the engine shed. Station buildings that way. Nice line of railway conifers in that direction, heading towards Ashton under the Hill, which is where we're going now. Having done Bexford then, heading out. That was good. There's some diagonal fencing in there, look. We saw that at Tewkesbury. Obviously in the style of this railway then. There are loads of things here you can ponder on. What's that? Comes to it, what's that? Hiding behind the tree now. Oh, there you go. What you doing, bird? Trying to hide behind the post. Come on, you're a film star, do your best. doing, eh? What you doing? You're ready to get fed. You've very little chance, I can assure you. Potentially the line of the railway, I guess. If so, then that's looking north to Evesham. Another look at that first station building. Rather fine, isn't it? You've got the diagonal fencing here in the foreground. Well, there's no sign of any bridge. We've upset the dog again. Flush with success from Beckford. Come here to Ashchurch. It looks like a bit of a washout. A modernish building there. I think on the line of the railway. We'll wander up and have a look. Slight rise in the road here, which probably led to the bridge at one time. If so, looking across the fields to our left, that line of trees will be the railway then. So we'll take a closer look. Well, that's where we are, which would make that the station buildings. Different style. That might be a clue. Alongside the hedge, but everything here is so dense, no way of getting through. That rather large post is a railway, I would think, but I can't get this into context. There's a cleared strip here in the field, which could indicate there was a railway there at one time, but then again, maybe not. Frustrating, isn't it? Rather than the main entrance road in then, I've now come down a scruffy little back road, which is nevertheless closer to the village. Shows promise. Nice half-timbered place there. Over this little stream, the road rises up to what's undoubtedly a rail bridge. And there on the right could be station access, making that the line of the railway. Wandering off down there, see what we can see then. Oh, it's got stone on it, surface to sort of. There's the road. I've just walked up here, so I've been right round it. No bridge. Filled in again. If you follow the line there, rising, puts the peak of the road about there. Which would make this the platform. The station, no way is it. Nothing here. It's a raised piece of land. That could just as easily be the track bed. At the end of the raised section, there's some sloping ground, which might indicate the edge of a platform, but I'm not buying it. If that's the platform, then all the buildings are here. And there's no evidence at all. The issue we've got is that the station is near a road bridge, and we've got possible 3 here. These are the 2 most likely. The other one I'm not sure if I can get access or not. It might be turned into private now, so well, I think it's time to move on. What's next? Having just popped up to the top of the hill, then over the bridge, we've got some masonry left. In there, and more convincingly, just there. That seems to be the style then. Fill the bridge in, but leave the buttresses. Or the pillars. There's one there as well. That's the best. Built of stone then. With some rather robust hooks in here. Don't know what they did for a living. If this was the station, there'd be a flight of steps down there leading to platform level. There's nothing. Hinton next on the list then. So the last one that we'll catch before Evesham. A clue. An original building there. Next to all the modern stuff. And somebody who thinks we should be enjoying their music. Similar layout to where we've just come from. The road rises up there over the bridge obviously. And the station approaches there to the right. This time closed off by a gate. So we won't be going along that one. If you look in the distance, look, you can see an old building. You can catch a glimpse of that from somewhere else. Huge industrial building has been put on the railway site. That won't be reopened anytime soon. This may be railway. This is opposite the station access road. This looks a bit substantial for a farmer's field, which is what it is now. Very well made indeed. And then in the distance, across the field, you can see lines of sleeper fence posts of the railway. I wonder. I'm about to get eaten by a horse, so I'm not hanging about. We'll trudge up here then. See if we can get anything worth recording. So, usual pattern. The bridge has gone missing. Oh, this is following the usual pattern. After that first bridge, magnificent, everything else has been taken away or flattened. As has this. Should be some abutments somewhere. As far as I can tell, the abutments have gone missing on this one as well. It's unusual, and you can see there, through there, the station's completely been built over. You can just about make out the end of the station building, the stone one through there. See if I can. Just of there. That's as good as it's going to get, I think. Well, you can't win them all, folks. Everything north of here has been built on now, all houses. As far as Evesham. Evesham station remains to be looked at, and then we'll go north from there if we can. So I'm going to call this video number 1. See if we can end up with videos 2, 3 or whatever. And I'll catch you on the next one.